wears the trousers in a pantisocracy?
Oh, it's one of those kinky parties where people turn up in either panties or socks. You take a choice.
It has got the word all in it, so panto for all, and then we have...
Socracy.
Socracy, so from isokratia, so equality of power. So basically it is government for and by...
Everybody.
All, yeah. So it was a... Yes, Gyles, you don't rarely ask permission to speak.
Well, I know there are bonus points for courtesy.
Oh, yes, very good. What were you going to say, madame?
I was going to say that I've actually lived in a pantisocracy.
Have you?
And it's hell. When I was about 17, a master from our school...
Where's this going?
He was subsequently arrested, but that is a different story. This master invited some of us to go on holiday to Devon. And he said, we are going to be pantisocrats. And the idea was, we went to a village where Coleridge, the poet, had been on holiday. And he told us that Coleridge and a friend of his, I think Southey...
Robert Southey.
They had invented this idea of a society where everybody was equal.
Yeah.
And on this holiday, all 8 of us and this one teacher lived this life of being equals. And we all had to be different romantic poets. I ended up as Byron. It was a ghastly, ghastly experience. And it put me off equality forever.
Yes.
And this led to what we all had to do on this holiday.
OK.
The idea was we were all asked to be different poets, and the fellow who chose to be Southey told us the story of the 3 bears. I had chosen to be Byron. Not Lord Byron, but his cousin, H.J. Byron, Henry James Byron, the man, as you know, Sandy, who invented Widow Twankey for the pantomime Aladdin and also created the character of Buttons. OK, you live and learn. And 3 weeks of this, somewhere in Devon, all pretending to be characters. It was hell. It was sheer hell.
3 weeks?
Yeah, the master, of course, was on Coleridge and took it seriously, which meant taking opium. He was a druggie.
Did you at any stage in the 3 weeks stop talking?
One would have liked to have seen you give your twanky.
No.
But to live, to method act, the creator of Widow Twankey for 3 weeks.
But also, isn't it appalling that this great man, H.J. Byron, is virtually unknown? He was the first cousin of Lord Byron. Nobody is reading Byron anymore. Byron Schbyron. But every Christmas we go, we cheer at Buttons, Widow Twankey, we love her. Nobody even knows that this man exists.
How did he write just those characters?
He wrote the whole show, but I'm cutting to the chase because I don't want to take up too much of your time.
I desperately want to know whether you chose H.J. Byron or whether he was imposed upon you.
Just one tiny second, Gyles. Do not ask him any supplementary questions.
What were you thinking?
What's wrong with you? Thank you.
Okay. Marcel Proust.
À la recherche du temps perdu.
Very good. Now, why did Marcel Proust have such a limp handshake? There he is. There's Marcel.
He hasn't slept for about 5 years. Look at him.
I feel bad saying this, but I know he was a known homosexual.
He was well gay.
No, I don't. Well, he was well gay. But I don't want to say that he had the limp handshake because he was gay. It's like saying he loved to buy scatter cushions and just throw them around the gaff of the weekend. I mean, it seems a really, reductive thing to say, but I don't know if it's...
There are types of gay who go around in muscle vests and are very butch, and there are types of gay, like Marcel, who are rather limp-wristed and who like ornament and design. He famously wrote only in a cork-lined room. He was very sensitive and so on. But...
What, he was very buoyant?
Buoyant.
He could go to sea at any time. He could set sail.
He could write anywhere in the world.
Well,
oceans, anywhere.
Yes.
I'm going to offer a thought.
Yeah.
OK?
Right.
He, being gay, spent a lot of time in North Africa.
Tangiers.
North Africa!
And one of the things that I discovered when I spent time in Africa...
Are you coming out? Is this a coming out story? Because if it is, that'll be the picture, so just watch out.
Tonight could be the night, you're right.
It could be the night.
I know your party's behind you.
Yeah, indeed. It's fine.
Yes, Giles.
I'm going to suggest this. When I went to Africa, I was quite disconcerted to find that traditionally the African handshake is not simply very soft, but it lingers. Shake my hand.
Oh, it's just an excuse again.
No, I think...
The injunction, Giles.
In Europe, we shake hands
Don't touch
like... In Europe, we shake hands like that. I think in Africa, we shake hands like this, and we hold the hand. I have a lot of experience of this.
Stop it.
He's a dementor.
He's glued me. I can't get out.
I don't wish to name drop, but I went to interview Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and he held my hand like this for a long, long time.
Did he?
And he was saying to his age, who is this again?
I'm thinking that Marcel Proust spent time in North Africa and rather liked this tradition and brought it back with him to Paris.
It's an interesting idea. I have no evidence that Proust went. I know that André Gide went to North Africa.
That's what I'm thinking
deal.
of.
You're thinking of André Gide. But never mind.
You sweated on my hand for that.
André Gide was out and proud. He was probably the man who invented the word homosexual, as it were, in his book Corridon. And he was out. Marcel was not out. Marcel was embarrassed and ashamed of being gay, and indeed he went to brothels to try and cure himself. It didn't
we've
work.
all tried that.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks.
The North Africans hold a hand like that, my darling.
No, it was a sort of double bluff is the only way I can explain it. He had a friend, a Romanian count, who said to him, look, I can teach you how to do a more manly handshake. Then people won't think that you're an invert, as the word was then.
Invert?
An invert,
As
yeah.
a gayer.
A gayer, yeah. And Marcel Proust said, no, if I do that, people will think I'm trying to look straight. Oh. Whereas if I confidently am all limp...
It's a double bluff.
It's a double bluff.
Thank you for watching. Giles,
Yes.
tell me, what's the best way to win a non-stop speaking competition?
Oh, look.
Oh, look, there you
There's
are.
a picture of me in younger and happier days, making the longest speech in the history of the world. I spoke on that occasion only for about 3.5 hours.
Oh.
I then broke the record again, speaking for 7 hours, then for 8 hours, then for 11 hours. I shared that record with Nicholas Parsons, and eventually I retired when I'd spoken non-stop for 12.5 hours.
Do you actually make notes, or do you just...
No, you had to do it without notes, without repetition, and keeping the audience there. That was the challenge, and also staying there through the night. And
Did you have a wee, darling?
That's the whole problem. I knew I'd need to go to the loo, but this was for a charity, and they supplied me with an appliance that you strap around. It's given to field marshals.
And babies.
No, it's a full size for field marshals on cold parade grounds. Old men. It's a sort of tube thing.
Isn't that uncomfy?
Well, initially, but it's quite exciting, actually, as the evening wears on.
Do you know, it's really funny. They said, see if Giles can be persuaded to reminisce. And you were. Well, non-stop competitive speaking is a sort of lesser-known sibling of the dance marathon craze. There was a thing in 1928 called the Noun and Verb Rodeo, and it took 4 days. And you could say whatever you wanted as long as you spoke for 22.5 hours a day. Could you do that, do you think?
Yeah, certainly.
Don't start, I mean...
But wouldn't that be exciting? We could do it here and break a record and do something useful for a change.
But repetition was allowed. There was one woman who repeatedly recited the part of Lady M until she passed out. Another competitor used his words to propose to a fellow player who used her time to explain why she wasn't interested. And the third said something so offensive, they had to have him arrested for loose talking. In fact, as far as I know, the longest speech is a filibuster in the United States Senate. Yeah. Which was a man called Storm Thurmond of South Carolina, US Senator in 1957. And he spoke for 24 hours and 18 minutes. It's a record that still stands. But he's not my favourite person, because he spoke against the Civil Rights Act.
Yeah. What a prick.
Yes.
It's like one of those Olympic records where the person was on steroids.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely should come with a big old asterisk.
Yeah, I mean, don't speak ill of the dead, apart from him.
You know, I'm gonna say it right here, right now. I think I can beat that, because all I need to do is say, like, 4 sentences.
Absolutely. That is one of the ways of doing it. Just take it very slowly indeed. For me, the challenge really was keeping the audience awake, as you can imagine, because that was the rule. They had to stay, you know.
Sorry, I drifted off. I wasn't listening. Who was the woman associated with the French Revolution?
Madame Tussaud, because she took facial masks, didn't she? Death masks of the people.
It's an extraordinary story because she was the art teacher and indeed a Waxworks modeller for the sister of Louis XVI. And so she was seen to be a royalist and her head was actually shaved in preparation for execution. And she was saved by a leading revolutionary who had been friendly with her before. And she was made to do the people's likenesses. And then she was asked to come to Britain to show them and was going to go back to France but had to stay because the Napoleonic Wars started and she wasn't able to return.
Who are these two?
So this is the King and Queen.
Those are actually the King and Queen of France.
It's Marie Antoinette and the King, yeah.
Or the Waxworks of them.
The Waxworks of them.
I used to work in Madame Tussauds.
Oh, this is marvellous. Somebody who can out-anecdote Gyles. I like this.
I worked as a zombie because my acting career got off to a really quick start. And you had to learn how to put all different latex on stuff and make your makeup really awful to be jumping out at people in this scary maze. But you learnt to wax, which was to stand where tourists were walking past you and you'd stay completely still and then just move a bit and people would cack themselves. And I got told after my second stint there that I was the scariest woman they'd ever had.
Now, Gyles, I thought when you said you have personal experience of this that you were going to mention
I am going to mention
family connection.
This, seriously, is how I became really interested in this subject of the guillotine and executions, because my forebear, Jeremiah Brandret, was a revolutionary and the last person to be beheaded in this country for treason.
I think we have a picture, actually, of Jeremiah.
There he is.
Part of the Pendrick martyrs.
1817. He was a revolutionary. He began as a Luddite. He realised that the Industrial Revolution was going to make people lose their jobs. He was determined to overthrow the government of the day. And anyway, he led this revolution up in Derbyshire. He was known as the Nottingham Captain and was arrested, put on trial, and was not just hanged, but he was then beheaded because he was a traitor.
Because they wanted to show the head. I mean, I think he was already dead by the time he was beheaded. Now, we were trying to see the family likeness in this, so we've done a little bit of photoshopping just to see how that would look. So there you are.
Uncanny.
Uncanny. I do think, darling, if you were ever beheaded, just as they lifted the head up, you'd be going, I've got one more story.
You know, the head can live on for another 15 seconds.
What would you have to do if someone read you the Riot Act?
It's an actual thing. They would go to the scene and read the Riot Act.
They literally read it out. Technically, you had an hour to disperse once it had been read out. So it was introduced in 1715.
To clear crowds.
To clear the crowds out. These are the actual words of the Riot Act. And it meant that if more than 12 people gathered and were disruptive, a policeman was entitled to read them the Riot Act. And it had to be read with the exact correct wording. And after that, they had a full hour. You've got an hour now to stop rioting, which I quite like. It's very British, isn't it? I'm giving you notice, and then you'll be on the naughty step. We don't have it anymore. It was repealed by the Criminal Law Act of 1967. In fact, the last attempted reading of the Riot Act was in, have a guess, anybody? Which city in this country?
Manchester.
Glasgow.
Oh.
1919, but the policeman couldn't get through it before somebody took the page from his hand.
Sorry, Sandy. Everyone just stop. Was that a Scottish accent you just...
No, it was an Irishman visiting.
To be fair, I respect the law as much as the next person.
Yes.
If I had decided I was going to make the positive action of rioting and someone stood in front of me and said, here's a piece of paper about why you can't riot, you would just go, well, I'm taking that piece of paper. I'm a rioter, wouldn't you? I mean, and I don't think that's particularly Glasgow. If I may, Alan. If I may, Alan.
Order in the court.
But if they don't disperse, they don't just go, oh, they haven't.
Yeah. Oh.
They
What I was going to say...
He's right.
...was contrary to sometimes, occasionally, when you said, and I knew you were going to say Glasgow because you looked at me with that look, you look at Sandra, you look at me sometimes and go,
Sandra.
there's a Scottish thing coming up. Just because it was Glasgow does not mean that they were violent in
No, I
moving
didn't
the
say
paper.
that. I never
they
said
simply
that.
politely went, "I'll take that from you, young sir."
Yes.
I imagine. That's what they said.
Yeah.
"Excuse me, officer, can I take that?"
I'll take
from
that. Would you like a mint?
Exactly. So I don't want there to be any suggestion
No,
that the
that nobody was
Glaswegians were
suggesting.
aggressive.
But
Excuse me!
nowadays, you don't have to read anything out at all. If 12 people or more are present and they cause any kind of violence, then...
It's quite challenging for middle-class people to start riots, as I've discovered.
Well, you've got to wait in. You've got to wait in for your white company order. I mean... It's an awful lot to do.
Yeah.
In Paris, when I was trying to take part in the 1968 riots, we didn't know what to do. And, well, no, we didn't, because we were nice university people. We'd gone over to help with the rioting.
And they were instructing in French.
Well, I was studying the French Revolution, so my French was reasonably OK. And they advised us what we were to do.
Yeah.
And it was to knock the policeman's hat off. And apparently, knocking hats off goes back hundreds of years as the way riots are started.
I think, to be fair, if I had gone to the effort of wearing one of my hats, of which I have many, because I believe a lady with a hat is a very astonishing figure.
Is it made of corduroy?
List of impediments to you getting shagged goes on.
It's not good, is it?
I suit a hat. Look, I suit a hat, and sometimes you think, it's a hat day. I feel like wearing a hat. I'm going to wear a cowboy hat. I'm going to wear a top hat. I'm going to wear a bowler hat. And you're walking down the street, you're thinking, people are laughing at me. But I don't care. In myself, I have the confidence. I've worked on myself a lot. This is how I feel. I feel confident. I'm a powerful woman. I'm Claire Balding.
People looking for...
I'm there.
Look at, how's that
And then
cowboy hat
somebody-
moving by itself? How's it getting down the street? There must be a dog under there, a tiny dog. That dog's never going to get shagged wearing that.
What's so un-British about a roundabout? Yes, darling.
It's French.
Yes.
Ah.
You will
French.
not be surprised to know that is a family story.
Yes, Charles.
One of my forebears was married to the Emperor Napoleon III of France. Okay? The Emperor Napoleon III of France, in exile, lived in Southport. And this is true. And when he got back to Paris, when he was restored to become the head of, become Napoleon III again, he decided that Paris needed to be redesigned and chose a man called Haussmann to do it.
Yes, from whom we get Boulevard Haussmann and all those wonderful boulevards in Paris.
And he said, the design I would like is I've been in England in a place called Southport, and I would like it to look like Southport with these wide boulevards and these big circles. And that is why Paris looks like Southport.
Yes, but the actual roundabout was the invention of a French town planner who was called Eugénie Hénard at the turn of the 20th century.
Haussmann had lots of people working for him, and...
Sorry, earlier, before the start of the show, Gyles told me that my key card for my dressing room would also work on the tube. Is that true?
I mean, so Haussmann did do a marvellous job in making the big boulevards, but the actual, what's called a carrefour giratoire, the roundabout, was a French town planner who otherwise is, I think, not really known. And so in 1907, British researchers were sent to observe it, and they copied it, and they installed the very first... Yes, darling?
You're going to find this almost impossible to believe. My father, this is getting really close now.
Yes.
My father was the legal advisor to the Automobile Association.
Right.
And a friend of Ernest Marples, who was the transport minister in the 1950s or 60s. My father went with Ernest Marples to help him open Britain's first roundabout in Letchworth, Newtown.
You are absolutely right.
Thank you. Thank you. True.
I totally love this. So there's the Arc de Triomphe, which inspired Letchworth's...
Can you see the red car? This is my dad.
What's the best use for a 25-foot-tall rat?
Could it be a rat house, as in the mayor's house, something that is literally 20...
Oh, as in the Rathaus means the advice house, yes. No.
Place with a lot of rats in it?
No, it's not a real rat. Yes.
So it's something or somebody disguised as a rat to frighten people, to alarm people.
Yes, a symbolic rat.
Yeah,
yes.
from a procession or a carnival or something.
It's an inflatable rat called Scabby, and you find them in...
Picket lines.
Trade unions
Picket
and
lines,
being
yeah,
picket lines.
Absolutely right. They range in sizes. 25-foot, I think, is probably the biggest. 12-foot is the most popular one. And since 1989, it has been a mascot on the picket lines in the United States.
So it's to discourage people crossing the picket line.
Yes,
to say, you are Scabby the rat.
You are a scab. It originated at the Illinois branch of the International Union of Operating Engineers. They used to nominate somebody to wear a rat costume, and then it was summer and it was too hot. And they went, let's get an inflatable one.
Wow.
And now popular with all the unions, actually. Now we're on the subject of large animals. Have you ever seen a swan that could actually break your arm?
That one there.
Yeah, that looks mean. Anybody?
There's a football team who's got a swan mascot.
That is in your part of the world, my darling.
Yeah, Swansea.
Swansea, the Swansea
Yes.
City mascot. Cyril. Cyril the Swan is a 9-foot mascot. And he... Do you know who the one is on the right? The mascot?
No.
Millwall Zamba the lion.
It's a lion that looked like it's pissed on itself.
2001, the swan and the lion got into a fight, and the swan tore the lion's head off and kicked it into the crowd before shouting, "Don't fuck with the swans."
What's interesting, do look at the photograph. You will see the swan's neck, but you will also see the gauze through which the person inside can see the world.
Yeah.
I know this because some years ago I spent a couple of years inside a costume.
Are you going to tell us about it?
Oh my God, are you the Stig?
Ethan, Giles is going to tell a story. Could you bring me a cup of... Thanks, darling. So let's just start from the beginning. You toured the country.
Let's start in the year this happened.
Okay,
1971, I was in a publisher's office, and he said, we are publishing this year a novel by Snoopy called It Was a Dark and Stormy Night. And I said, is Snoopy coming to the country? And they said, well, Snoopy, it's a character, cartoon character. I said, I could help you. I could be Snoopy. And I was engaged to play the part of Snoopy and come on a tour of the United Kingdom, an author tour. And they gave me this wonderful costume where you could see only through the gauze in the neck. The head was up there. It was so big, I couldn't find a London taxi I could get into. I had to walk to the venue. Anyway, the long and the short of it is we launched this at the Playboy Club in Park Lane. Ooh. So we had Playboy bunnies, me as Snoopy, launching this book and this tour. Unfortunately, we did not know that Charles Schulz, who created Snoopy, was a born-again Christian. And when the cuttings of this event reached him, I was banned from wearing the Snoopy costume for life.
So what did you do then?
I had to diversify.
Yes.
Because...
I knew there'd be more.
It was Scabby the rat for 4 years.
Yeah. Actually, only just the beginning, because during this...
So what other animals did you do?
Well, the next thing I did was a dinosaur. Funny enough, we mentioned dinosaurs.
Yes.
I led dinosaur parades throughout the United Kingdom.
Well,
Did they have the belly buttons on the costume?
This is why I was convinced they didn't, because mine was smooth.
OK, can I just say that our wonderful elves have been fantastically quick, and I think we have a picture of you. There we go.
Wow!
This is me, back in the early 1970s. There is the person modelling it.
OK, they have found another photo. Hang on a second. Let's have it. I was in Sainsbury's about 5 years ago, and there was a man dressed as a twiglet.
Where did you get the twiglet costume from, Giles?
You do feel an extraordinary freedom, though, inside the suit. You can do things that you wouldn't normally do as yourself.
You mean in the privacy of the suit?
There you have it. Gyles Brandret used to be a dinosaur. Please insert your own joke here. Thank you for watching. Here's one thing the PC Brigade haven't got their teeth into yet. Pie-eating competitions. Or have they? Let's hear your proposals for making pie-eating competitions a bit more PC.
I went to an extraordinary pie-eating event.
Oh, yes.
True story. 45 years ago, I was just down from university and I was invited by a man called the Earl of Longford, Lord Longford. You may remember him. He was
I do remember him.
Social reformer, prison reformer.
Yeah, prison reformer.
He was a good man. And 45 years ago, he launched a crusade against the scourge of pornography in our society. And he formed a committee called the Pornography Committee. I genuinely became the youngest member of this committee. Yeah, no, I seriously, I still have the raincoat I bought at the time. It wasn't just me and Lord Longford on this committee. There was a bishop, an archbishop, a rabbi.
I think I know this. You walked into a pub.
No. We did better than that. We went into a club in Copenhagen. We went, the bishop, the archbishop, the rabbi, myself, we all went on an aeroplane and we came to this club where they were offering us a special pie. True story. And we sat around the edge of this pie. And when the crust was removed, you wouldn't believe it. There they were, naked people.
Are we all allowed to tell our sex dreams?
This is fact. I've still got the photographs.
And you,
The
there's
point
enormous
is-
pie.
Yes. Is there a point?
They're not much of a point.
No. We are going to talk about the World Pie Eating Championship. It's held at Harry's Bar in Wigan. It's been held since 1992, and they used to challenge competitors to eat as many pies as they could in 3 minutes. And then in 2006, they thought we need to reflect modern healthy eating. So they eat just one pie as quickly as they can, and a vegetarian category introduced following what was described as relentless pressure from the Vegetarian Society.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
No.
Please.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Vegetarians too weak to be too demanding.
Oh, let him have a cheese and onion one.
So the organiser, Tony Callaghan, he said, I realise it may be controversial, but this is the way forward for pie eating at this level. Dave Smith, who was the winner of the first contest in 1992, he didn't think it was a good idea. He said, they've taken things too far. Pies are supposed to be meat and potato, and anything else just isn't normal. What I like is the organiser thinks that reduced pie consumption may be responsible for the recession. If everyone eats 2 pies rather than 1, he said, it follows logically that the pie sector of the economy could double in size.
I mean, it's flawless logic.
I know. And it's not a competition without its difficulties. So in 2007, there were 20 pies prepared for the next day's competition, and they were eaten in a single sitting by a rescue dog called Charlie.
Well, he's the winner then.
I know. His owner had been distracted. Apparently it was a pigeon up a chimney. And
This is such a northern story.
It's good, isn't it? So Charlie's owner, Dave Williams, entered Charlie in the competition because he thought Charlie is an absolute natural.
Charlie would have been stuffed, wouldn't
Well,
he?
that was the problem. He was entered, but he was full from the previous day, and he only ate half his pie. Thank you for watching.
Why shouldn't you crack your knuckles?
Oh.
Is there lasting damage? Can you do lasting damage on the bone?
No!
Oh, you just did it.
Oh, no.
Problem?
There's a but I think it's an old wives' tale that actually, if you do that, it causes arthritis. Yeah. Because there was a famous doctor called Dr. Unger who believed that it did, and for 50 years, this doctor every day cracked the knuckles on his left hand and didn't on his right.
Well, but the story is that his mother, when he was very young, he cracked the knuckles on both hands. And his mother said, you do that, honey, you'll get arthritis. And he thought, well, being of a scientific turn of mind already as a child, he thought, I will test this by only doing it on the fingers of my left hand.
arthritis, and I'll show you how.
Exactly. So he did it on his left hand only, and for 60 years he cracked it. And then he had various tests, and there was no suggestion of arthritis on the left hand more than the
So
right.
you can crack
and
your
he
knuckle.
apparently shouted up, "You were wrong, mother, you were wrong."
I wasted my life.
You were wrong, Daddy, you were wrong.
What was the job of Aristocles? Aristocles, better known to his friends as Wide Boy. It also means flat, oddly enough. It means wide and flat.
Flat.
He was a
Flatulent.
What's a flat-billed sort of animal called?
A duck-billed platypus. Plato.
Plato is the answer.
Plato is the answer.
Yes, his real name was Aristocles, and he was known as the Wide One.
Plato's
the flat-
real name was Aristocles.
Aristocles. He was nicknamed Plato. There he is.
Oh, my word, he went to a terrible sculptor. It must be so upsetting when you... You like when they put the mirror behind you and then pull it out like that.
May I ask who sculpted you last, sir? Plato was indeed the schoolboy nickname of Aristocles, from the Greek wide, and it was given to him because of his broad shoulders. His real name was Aristocles, and Aristocles taught Aristotle. And what did Aristotle teach us, the world, about buzzards?
Oh, this will be something absurd because...
He did say something absurd
It'll be ridiculous. It'll be something
This is
that
not
they
the soul
can
of the
read our
grand dam, all
minds
that,
or
is it?
something like that.
No, I'll tell you what it is, actually.
He felt that there were birds who didn't realise they were buzzards, and it was building up inside that they were latent buzzards.
Latent? Way hey. You get 5 for something there. I don't quite know what it is, Ron, but you get 5 for some. I'll tell you the answer. Actually, he thought they had 3 testicles.
Oh, you see,
That's
this is the
the thing,
sort
yeah.
of thing he comes out with all the time. He's very overrated. Even though he knew a good sculptor, he looks all right there. Yeah. Look at the robe on him.
There's a really interesting thing I can tell you about buzzards, on the other hand. The Latin for buzzard, its taxonomical name is buteo buteo, right? Now, there's a sort of, as it were, a subspecies of buzzard called a hobby, and it is sub-buteo.
Oh, God.
Subbuteo.
Oh. And the man who invented a game wanted to call it the hobby. And when he tried to patent it, they wouldn't let him use the word the hobby, so he called it after the Latin name for the hobby, which is subbuteo.
And that's why one is kicking a little testicle around the ball.
Yes, if you like. Now it all comes back.
Amazing.
That's where the name subbuteo comes from.
It must be great to be a philosopher. None of us could sit there and count the testicles on a buzzard and really explain it or justify it. What are you doing? I'm counting the balls on a buzzard. Some better things. Well, I'm a philosopher. Oh, well, go ahead.
Yeah. Did you know that the Pope, when the Pope is elected, still has to have this ceremony in the Vatican? After the Pope is elected, the Pope is carried over a group of the cardinals. And now, of course, the Pope actually doesn't display himself, but in days gone by, he would display himself. And the cardinals, this still happens to this day, when the Pope is crowned, the cardinals, the Pope is carried on a chair over the cardinals, and they look up and they say, testiculos habet et bene pendentes. And this is, yes, it is
He has balls and he's well hung?
No. It means that they are well hung. They are hanging well. And it goes back to the time of Pope Joan, when a girl masqueraded as a young pope. And since that's when the ceremony was introduced. And so the tradition continues to this day.
Fabulous, 5 points, brilliant, I love it.